Hi, Nicole. I liked your resume. I like how you organized it. Let me make sure I've got it. I like how you used your logo. You kept it very consistent to your style guide. I keep forgetting that you work for Marriott, especially that nice Marriott. If we had a regular class together, I'd ask you all about it. Um, I love my Marriott points card so much. It's just like the best invention. Okay, so I like how you called these skills tools. Though I would just make them just consistent lists. This space here looks like a mistake, even though you might have just been trying to separate them. So I mean, design wise, I would try to make it an even stack all the way throughout. Um, the references I don't think you need available upon request. There's no need to write that on there. They'll ask you for references probably. This is kind of old fashioned. I would just take it off. All right, so my only thoughts, like it's my job to give you suggestions. So just a couple things. Just wanted to be consistent with what you capitalize. So this to me just looks like an error full time. I don't, I think it makes sense for you to write interactive media in capital, but full time probably not. Just be consistent with stuff like that throughout. Is Via Dreamweaver something that I don't know about, or is Via just the word? So, well, then you wrote Via again here. So I'm assuming that you just mean it in an English speaking way. If so, I just wouldn't capitalize it. Otherwise, my only thought is, um, so I haven't looked at your style guide and I don't know what fonts that you've approved to work with your logo. If it's these, that's fine. If not, you might want to make every header in whatever specific font you listed. And the other note I had was to consider making these lines a little bit thinner to kind of go with the width of your name here. Let me zoom in while I'm talking to you. Is this the font or is the DB kind of cut off here? Just a little note to look at. I like that you actually have your portfolio on there. I don't think you need to say phone, email, portfolio anymore. So if these words are working for you to just make a type block, that's fine. But if you find you need to shorten everything up, I don't know. I don't know if that would help at all, but you could delete those. All right, those are my only comments, and I really had to look for it. Let me look at your, oh yeah, my other note was Rachel seems to be annoyed that I suggested that another student not say the word expertise because a professor says it's more professional. It's been my experience not to say I'm an expert at anything because you get called out on it. For example, I went into an internship at a place called Acme Filmworks saying that I was an expert at After Effects because I had done all the tutorials and the visual quick start guide. It turns out that I was nowhere near an expert, and basically the creative director there mocked me. He gave me a really hard assignment that I had no idea what to do, and he knew that, and he was like, "Oh, I thought you were an expert." So that happened one time. Another time, I took a C++ class and I put that on my resume. I tried out for a job at a 3D company called Rhythm and Hues in Los Angeles, and they sent me a programming test for C++. Of course, I couldn't even understand it. So I personally am very careful about saying something like expertise. However, you do have a certificate in IT development, so maybe you are an expert in all of these things. But if you feel like a little like, well, it's more like I have experience with, consider changing the wording. All right, so that's really all I had to say. Let me know if you have any questions.